Now Peter was a mighty man. Where'd you get your liquor from? Down downtown. He washed his face with a frying pan. Where'd you get your liquor from? Man downtown. That, of course, was Sally, Where'd You Get Your Liquor From, made famous by Reverend Gary Davis. Today I want to look at part of that song. We're not going to teach the whole song, but just one little section of it. I want to show how Reverend Gary Davis and all excellent guitar players use their thumb and how to vary things between, not just between verses, but also sometimes between phrases and sentences. So we've got the basic chord structure of C to A minor and then F and back to C again. And then of course Reverend Gary Davis works his single string magic before coming back to the main theme. But what he does is to actually vary the timing of the thumb stroke and also where the thumb strikes as well. I've identified 3 variations that we could use, and we could use in our own playing to make it more interesting. The basic form is this. And we use the finger to make it a little bit more interesting. Let's take a look at that in close-up. In the last example, the thumb was just really alternating between 2 strings and then running up from the F to go back to the C. But in actual fact, we can change that thumb beat slightly. Listen to this. We can make the thumb jump. And again. Let's take a look at this part in slow motion. And finally, instead of changing the timing and which strings we hit with the thumb, we can keep it on 1 string in this way. So we're hitting the bass string twice. And we're using the finger to complement the strike. Let's take a look at this last variation. Now the lead-in to this chord structure, we could play with our thumb completely in this way. And instead of having to lift the thumb off each strike in this way, we could let the thumb slip or roll from one bass string to the next in this way. This thumb roll is a trick that was made famous by Blind Blake, and it features in many of his songs. Now the last thumb strike is quite useful when you're playing slowly, but if you're playing in public and you start to play a little bit faster, it can become quite a stretch. doable, but it becomes more and more difficult. Very often when I'm playing in public, I use my finger for one of the strikes. So instead of using the thumb in this way, I would let my finger come in for the second stroke. And then I'd carry on. If we call one cycle C, A minor, F, and back to C, we shouldn't limit ourselves to using one variation each cycle. For example, in one cycle we could use all three or two. I hope you enjoyed that short insight into the way that we can use our thumb to try and vary the timing, the strings that we strike, to make things more interesting and more enjoyable for the listener, a little bit more exciting. I'll see you next time.